Jump around a little bit early, talk about some fall sports, but it is definitely football time. Doubleheader this weekend. All of us will be down in the dog pound tomorrow night to see Riverdale and Smyrna.
What a matchup. I mean, come on. When you think about opening week and you think about Riverdale, Smyrna, I mean, the tradition, all those head-knocking games. Riverdale dominated this series for so very long. And then about mid-2000s, a kid named Sonny Gray came along and Coach Shad, and then they pulled an upset, probably the greatest win in Smyrna history, the 9-7 that launched them to their first state title. And, and the game, it's been kind of back and forth since then. But, man, Riverdale, Smyrna, say no more.
Say no more. When we come back, we're going to start saying a little more.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
We're talking now with Heather here at Carpets by Osborne. Tell us what it's like to work at a family business.
It's a lot of fun. However, it's a lot of work. Everybody has to pull their weight equally.
What do you think are some of the advantages of people doing business with a family business versus a corporate business?
We are here to answer all questions. We're responsible for scheduling jobs. We're not here to sell you material and pass you off to a list of installers.
Carpets by Osborne on Northwest Broad, next to Tire World.
Hurry up and try new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs. They're 4 fun-sized puffs packed with layers of pepperoni, cheese, and sauce, and only $3.99. So what are you waiting for? Try them now.
You heard him. We need to go try these new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs right now.
Stop it! Drive like the wind, Debbie. Enjoy delicious new Crazy Puffs on the go for just $3.99. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
You've seen the ads out there, companies wanting to buy your home. But why sell yourself short when you can get fair market value? I'm Lisa Patton. If you have an estate to settle or a home to sell, call Parks Auction. We'll work with you to sell your home or property in any condition with no costly repairs on your timeline. Why accept one offer when you can have multiple? You need Parks Auction. We look out for your best interest. Call Parks Auction today. We handle everything.
Renters, when you combine State Farm Auto and Renters Insurance, you will save money. I'm State Farm Agent Dana Womack, and I'd love to talk to you about combining your auto and renters insurance to help you save. Call me at 615-900-0877.
In Rutherford County, you know how much it means to have neighbors that you can count on. I'm State Farm Agent Ron Reeves, here to help life go right when you combine home and auto insurance. Call me at 615-873-1700. Let me save you money and time.
Is your car running like a dream, or does it need a little TLC? At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we treat your vehicle like it's one of our own. From oil changes to major repairs, our certified technicians have the skills and experience to keep you on the road safely.
This is Mike Woodward, head football coach at Laverne High School. If you are blitzed with car problems, go see Dr. Automotive.
For quality care you can trust, visit Dr. Automotive in Smyrna. We've got the cure for your car. Online at smyrnaautorepair.com.
Primetime Sports presented by Ideas Tees on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
Primetime Sports every week brought to you by Ideas Tees. Ideas Tees is a place in Rutherford County for school spirit wear, screen printing, embroidery, specialty items, and more. Plus, buy all of your officially licensed MTSU Blue Raider merchandise from Raider Tees. Those Blue Raiders play here in just a little over a week. For Blue Raider tees, polos, hats, and more, visit their showroom at 910 Ridgely Road. Just turn off Broad Street between Chewy's and Chili's. Ideas Tees can put your logo on just about anything. Stop in and see how they can help you promote your favorite team, workplace, or organization. Find out more online at ideastees.com. Boys school's been in about 3 weeks, and we are rolling with sports already. We'll start with the ladies. Volleyball, soccer, golf have all kicked off. They're moving and grooving. I was looking at schedules. Their regular seasons run basically through September, and they'll start hitting playoffs already. So in volleyball, we've got some new coaches in the county. Rockville's Carissa Verbruggen, Stewart's Creek's Kristen Jackson, and Middle Tennessee Christian's Nicole Burks, along with Laverne's Brandon Otts. Of course, Providence Christian volleyball is coming off the Division 2A state championship, and Middle Tennessee Christian, their little down the road rival, had a 42-win season, and they finished third in volleyball. Some girls you might see a lot about this year if you keep up with volleyball. From Middle Tennessee Christian, that's Anna Clay Shirley and Addison Burks. Burks, an all-area and all-state player for Middle Tennessee Christian. Over at PCA, Sadie Kroger returns. She was the state tournament MVP last year. Alyssa Burns for Riverdale, senior, coming back. Big things expected from her. There's a lot of girls playing volleyball, a lot of things going on. We'll keep up with those throughout the year. The Burns girl, by the way, mentioned her. Rod, volleyball stats drive me crazy. 57 assists. I saw that this week. 57.
Yeah, if you score, I mean, you have a lot of people that really can kill the ball or strike it. You're going to get a lot of assists. Now, here's the number, though, I caught my eye. This is Ashley Smith from Riverdale. They beat PCA 3-2.
Yep.
But we know you think that's big school, little school. But PCA was mentioned. What place were they finished in?
They won it.
They won the state championship in double single A. Well, Ashley Smith had 31 kills. Now, that's a big number.
She's killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Because usually you'll maybe see 19, upper teens, low 20s, but not 31 this early in the year.
And if you're a volleyball person, of course, it's a sport. It goes by pretty quick. The scoring goes good. It's fun to watch. When girls are good, it's really a fun sport to watch.
That's something I learned to love because I had to coach it. Our coach left. I was the athletic director at Roy Waldron, and so I had to take it all. It was funny. Our first game we had, I sent the starters out, turned around. My Mitch was all up in the audience. They were sitting by their parents. They had to get down here. You're mine now. You'll have your parents and pick you up later.
Soccer is also running around the county. Speaking of a young lady to mention, Perry Patel, Rockville Rocket, Lady Rockets. She had a hat trick in a 5-0 win over Central Magna this week. And then Mackay King and Nori Akers of Siegel both scored 2 in a 6-1 win over Riverdale. The last sport to mention, of course, which hurts me every time because I'm terrible, it's golf. Maze Bailey at Siegel. She fired an eagle on the 18th hole. An eagle. I think I hit.
What course was that, Alan?
I don't know what course that was on, but an eagle, I think I've had one in my lifetime. Fired an eagle, finished with a 74.
Whoa, whoa.
Wow.
74.
That's like John Dinkins type scoring right there.
That's what I do on 9 holes at the VA when they were in session.
Exactly. We mentioned last week, we'll try to take a little time, not just talk football, but recognize all the sports here in the fall. Moving to a different sport, Danny's here, and he is eager to talk about some horse racing.
Man, we've got some exciting times coming up. This Saturday at Saratoga is the Travers Stakes, the Midsummer Derby, $1.25 million Grade 1 for 3-year-olds. The really exciting thing about this is there's a horse called Torpedo Anna. She won the Kentucky Oaks. She won the Acorn, all right? So, and I notice I said she. So she's going to be stepping up and running against the boys. This is not very common. But she's going to, I think she's the best 3-year-old in the country. That the 3-year-olds usually get the most attention because that's who runs in the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness and the Belmont and all that stuff. So they get lots of attention. Torpedo Anna is crossing over, and she's going to take on the boys in the Travers Stakes this Saturday. So super, super exciting there. I think she's going to get them. I think she's the best 3-year-old in the country. That's what I've said for many months now. When we think about what's in the future, we got Kentucky Downs coming up. Kentucky Downs starts next week. Their 7-day meet between August 29th and September 11th. They'll run 7 days. 15 stakes races, all worth over $1 million. The Nashville Derby, which they'll run on the 31st, is worth $3.1 million. So what does all that mean? That means the big-time talent is going to be there as far as jockeys and trainers and full fields of horses. So how that translates is fantastic competition and then outstanding payouts, because when you have all these horses running and you got the full fields, the money spread out, the odds are a lot better. So that means the bettors can really make some change when it comes to this. You can bring home some serious cheddar. But it's just so exciting there at Kentucky Downs.
So is that they're racing every single day?
No. It'll be spread out between August 29th and September 11th. They'll run I think a Thursday, which the 29th is on a Thursday. So they'll run Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and then a Wednesday. So it's spread out over those between August 29th and September 11th. It's spread out where there'll be 7 race dates during that time frame.
Okay, and you said her name was Torpedo?
Torpedo Anna. She's the daughter of Fast Anna. She's trained by Kenny McPeak. Kenny McPeak won the Kentucky Derby with my boy Mystic Dan, and he also had Torpedo Anna. So he pulled off the Oaks Derby double, the first guy since Ben Jones did it back in the 50s. So Kenny McPeak won the Oaks and the Derby this year. So Torpedo Anna, she won, like I said, then she went on and won the Acorn, and she's really lights out. So I think that she's going to get the boys. And she's running against, it's a very, very classy field. Fierceness that won the Jim Dandy, and Dornock that won the Belmont Stakes. And so it's a really, really good field that she's running against. So when she puts them in the dust, they can't say she ran against some nags, because she didn't. I mean, like I said, she's going to be against the perceived best of the 3-year-old male division in the Travers. So super exciting there. Girl power, that's what I'm saying.
Girls rule sometimes.
Sometimes they do, in my house especially.
And Rod Danny was very helpful last year on that race, wasn't he?
He sure was. We came close.
Yeah, now that's the Kentucky Turf Cup, and that'll be September 7th. That's the big day at Kentucky Downs, Turf Cup Day, which is September the 7th. And there'll be 6 graded stakes races that day, including a couple of Breeders' Cup win-in-your-in races. And, of course, the Turf Cup is their signature race, and that's the one hopefully we will be cashing checks and breaking necks.
And you said it's, what, about an hour away?
Yeah, it's just Franklin, Kentucky, just across the Tennessee state line. Head up 65, about 35 miles north of Nashville.
Well, that could be the place to be. We're going to take a break again, and we're going to talk about some other thoroughbreds, but they're going to be on the football field when we come back.
Since 1966, Fans Heating and Air has been a symbol of quality for Murfreesboro and Rutherford County. For friendly, complete service on Amana, Bryant, or American Standard Heating and Air products, Fans Heating and Air will do it all. Fans specializes in new homes, custom homes, or existing buildings. Give Fans Heating and Air a call today, 615-893-7930. Good luck to all of our schools and student athletes from Fans Heating and Air.
We're at Rick's Barbecue talking with Anne-Marie Brentz, who says they're ready to feed your entire crew with the family pack.
It's a pound of pork or any of our pulled meats, and then you get 2 16-ounce sides, and then you get a bag of chips, which are plain or barbecue, and then the buns come with it, and then you get one of our drink choices, which is either a 2-liter of one of our sodas or a half-gallon of one of our teas.
And don't forget the famous Rick's Loaded Baked Potato.
That's the biggest potato you can get. They're right at 2 pounds.
Let Rick's Barbecue do the cooking, 212 Warrior Drive.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door.
Whether you have a quarter acre or several, Las Casas Feed Supply has premium feeds and dog foods you can't find in box stores.
Nutrition is our specialty here at Las Casas Feed.
Plus, every Saturday morning they have a local producer-only farmers market with fresh vegetables, beef, pork, and more.
Customer service and expertise that exceeds your expectations.
Family owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, Las Casas Feed Supply on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East in Las Casas. Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org. Dr. Russell McKissick of Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance talks about the grassroots effort in our local schools to ensure proper care for players.
To make sure our teams are covered here locally, be there for our trainers. Yeah, it's a passion that we have to try to take care of our athletes here in town and be there just to keep everybody playing as healthy and as best they can.
From a community standpoint, one of the most important things you do at TOA, I'd guess.
I think it's definitely a way to pay back to our community, just to be there for them and watch some great sports too.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance,
TOA, live your best life.
Primetime Sports presented by Ideas Tees on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
We're going to talk a little Blue Raider football first. Derek Mason era kicks off here a little over a week from Saturday on August 31st. They'll be playing Tennessee Tech. I got my season tickets this past week delivered to me. I'm excited about that. There are still tickets available. I think it's important at Murfreesboro we show up for Coach Mason and the team. You may need to get you a roster. There are 59 new players the Blue Raiders begin the season with. And you got graduation. Of course, you got the transfer portal. We lost 25 players in the transfer portal. But, you know, Coach Mason deserves a good opening crowd.
Well, I think he does. You know, the thing about it is, from talking with him recently, I am extremely encouraged, okay? We talked about last week how I'm a dinosaur. I'm old school. Well, Coach Mason is old school as well. The 59 new faces, you know, one of the things he said is, you know, when we talked this week is, you know, he's trying to send a message of, you know, all the right things that football is supposed to teach, you know, dedication and honor and obedience and respect and all those kind of things that carry you through life. One of the things he said, he's said a couple of key phrases here. One is, we want every player to know that you are valued and that you are valuable, because that's what creates our team concept. So we want guys rooting for each other, even though we've had internal competition. We want guys rooting for each other because everybody, you just next man up. You know, you just don't know, but we want to make sure that everyone knows, all of these 59 new players and everything, that you're valued and you're valuable. So I really like that. Another thing that he said, you know, is he's bringing a physical approach, and I like that because that's what football's about. And he said this. He said, football is a man whoop a man game, and we got to be physical. And that's how it is. I mean, that's what it is. It's one up front. Of course, you know, I think his time at Vanderbilt can be very valuable, because something that his predecessor at Vandy had told me one time, James Franklin, was the SEC is a line league. You have to win in the trenches. And I think that that's true, and I think that Derek Mason understood that, you know, at Vandy, because that's how it is, and he wants to bring that same type mentality to MTSU. It's a man whoop a man game. We want to win the battle up front, and then we'll let our playmakers make our plays from there. Now, one of the returning players that they have that I want to kind of talk for a minute about, D.R. McDonald, the boy from Oakland. You know, he's a returning player. He played last year. They've shifted him to cornerback, I think, and, you know, he's, I think, been very key to kind of indoctrinating some of these new faces to the MTSU way. And I think that there's been a lot of buy-in to what Coach Mason is trying to teach, because when I was at the scrimmage last Saturday, lots of excitement, you know, and that's what's in the air right now, because he said, you know, right now, if you can't get excited, you know, then you need to do something different. But everybody is got the juices flowing and all that stuff. And I think that as a community, we kind of need to get behind these guys, because I think we're going to see a pretty good product over there. I'm pretty confident we're going to see a good product, a physical brand of football, which I really like. And, you know, it's just going to be lots of competition and lots of fire and lots of vinegar, and I like that. I think that's good.
Well, Rod, we talked last week, you know, Coach Mason's a defensive-minded guy.
Right.
So I'm concerned about the offense. Now, his first-year coordinator, Bodie Reeder, is running up-tempo. As a fan, Rod, how do you feel about that?
Up-tempo? It seems like there's a lot of up-tempo. You know, I would like to see a little bit more a mixture of the power running game, and then also go into your up-tempo. But I've also heard that Mason likes both. But I thought, to me, I was bored with MTSU because they did very little running. You know, and I think that will add to the game if they do it. So we just have to wait and see what it looks like.
Well, you mentioned the running game. That's probably the deepest area on the team, he said. You've got Peasant back, Creedle, Middlebrook, and Wilkins all having played snaps in 2023. So he may have to rely on that running game. You know, Tennessee runs the up-tempo, but they're 50-50. They run the ball and pass the ball. They try to use one against the other, see what the defense gets them. You know, we talked about that too last week, Rod. Sometimes they run up to the line of scrimmage and stand there for 20 seconds just trying to figure out what they want to do.
Right. Of course, you have to try to one of the things you want to do, in whatever sport you're playing in, is make the other team uncomfortable. If you're on offense, you want to make the defense uncomfortable. If you're on defense, you want to make the offense uncomfortable. And that's basically what a Heupel does, I think. He makes them uncomfortable because you don't know really what they're going to do, and then they get on a roll that can wear you out physically.
Well, if you're thinking about going next Saturday, Tennessee plays early. I've already looked because that's I'm a Tennessee fan too. They play early at 11:45. MTSU kicks off at 6. So, gentlemen, look, you can watch the Tennessee game. Tell your wife you'll take them out to dinner. Go over to MTSU. MTSU's got a new experience called Party in the Grove, and they'll experience pregame prior to home games over there in the Grove between Walnut Grove area between Peck Hall and Cope Administration. The Party in Grove will feature live music, food trucks, sponsor tents, other activities for fans. Bands will be performing, DJs, 3.5 hours before kickoff. And then 45 minutes before kickoff, you can follow me to the Floyd Parade. So they're trying to get people there, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the game. Again, I think Coach Mason deserves a good opening weekend.
Well, the one thing that when talking with him, the one thing that he says we want to do is trust our process. And we're going to respect Tennessee Tech, because people think, well, they're playing Tennessee Tech. Well, you can't take anybody for granted in this day and age of football. He said we want to respect Tennessee Tech and we want to trust our process. We are anxious to hit somebody else, So I think it ought to be good.
Yeah, that's something I like to hear. I want to respect Tennessee Tech. You need to respect your opponent, whoever it is, or that's when we get surprised. And I know at MTSU we've had a history of, man, we look like we're really on a roll, and somebody comes in. We had left the conference, and then we had Southeast Missouri come in and whip the daylights out of us after we went up to upper level division. So that's key, and that's his emphasis all the time. It's going to keep him from having that big upset.
Right, and then he said we want to concentrate on being the best MTSU that we can be, but like I said, we want to respect Tennessee Tech because trust our process, be who we're supposed to be, and I think that there's lots of excitement over there.
Absolutely. All right, speaking of respect, this may be the first time in a long time the state high school football poll doesn't have the Oakland Patriots at number 1. They've got Houston at number 1. Oakland's 2. Again, Kevin Creasy is using that number 2 to his advantage coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Other teams in 6A, Riverdale is listed at 5. Number 7 is Brentwood. Blackman takes them on this Friday night. That'll be a tough matchup for them. Number 8 is Germantown. They'll be coming to Riverdale week 4. Other statewide polls, because they're involving our teams, Laverne takes on number 1 Page in 5A week 4. Shelbyville right now is ranked number 10. That's the game you're going to hear right after us. Shelbyville number 10 playing Siegel tonight. Riverdale also hosts 2 number 5 teams in the state for 5A. Henry County and Beach are tied at number 5. Henry County week 2, Riverdale week 3. So Riverdale's got week 2, 3, and 4, much less going to the Dog Pound tomorrow night. Their first 4 weeks is no cakewalk.
No, it's not, but I think that's maybe a little bit by design because, Coach Kreisky wants to build, because that's what it's all about, is you want to be playing your best football at the end of the year when it comes playoff time, and as long as you can get in, that's all that matters.
Well, talk about having your team prepared. You got Henry County and Germantown. They went there, both games. They got beat last year, so they should be ready, and it's going to be better being in your hometown than in theirs.
Oh, without question.
Boy, Henry County, though, was electric that night down there. Coach Kreisky knew it because that's where he's from. They had it all rolling, the band rolling, the horn rolling, that train whistle blew all night long. I heard it in my sleep that night, so it's good stuff. One other note before we take a break. Of course, Oakland, talking about scheduling, they've always had a tough time scheduling. They're going to take one heck of a road trip to Texas later in the year.
Yeah. It's the great state of Texas welcomes Oakland High School.
Well, that's a bone of contention for Mr. Creasy, but Coach, I got enough tough games on my schedule. It's kind of hard to let you beat me down another time. I know that drives you crazy, Coach, but I know it's what's happening. It's no, that's respect, Coach. You know, I know you feel disrespected, but it's respect. We're going to take a break, come back, and we're going to take a quick little peek at all the teams.
Life's too short to stress about insurance. That's why Ray Call at Rayburn Insurance is here to make sure you have the right coverage without all the hassle. He'll work hard to provide you with personalized service and finding the best solutions for you and your family. Whether you're looking for auto, home, or business insurance, Ray Call's got you covered. Ray Call at Rayburn Insurance Agency. Let him handle the details so you can focus on what really matters.
This is a paid legal ad.
When a family member is lost as a result of someone else's negligence, the grief can be unbearable. It also leaves you with a lot of questions like, how did this happen? Who's responsible? And is my family going to be okay? That's a lot to go through, but with the law offices of John Day on your side, you don't have to go through any of it alone. We understand what you're going through, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
Sir Pizza.
You in a hurry for dinner? Well, we've made it even easier to order online at sirpizzatn.com. Tap the location nearest you and begin your carryout or delivery order at sirpizzatn.com. You can choose from our full menu, and we'll take care of the rest. A Queen's Feast is calling my name. Order Murfreesboro's favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com.
Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
If you need concrete work done, who would I call? Dan Franz Concrete. Here's why. He's local. He attended Walter Hill Elementary, Oakland, and MTSU. He served our community as a school resource officer for 9 years, and he's involved in the community.
This is Dan with Dan Franz Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Dan Franz Concrete is a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. Check out danfranzconcrete.com online to see some of their work.
Head over to J. Mullins Jewelry to check out their selection of rings, watches, custom design jewelry, and much more. They're a local business located at 352 West Northville Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. They have gifts for all occasions, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, whatever you need, you can find it at J. Mullins Jewelry. That's at 352 West Northville Boulevard or online at mullinsjewelry.com.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Primetime Sports presented by Ideas Tees on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
All right, we're moving and grooving on this Thursday night. 20 minutes till countdown to kickoff. We're going to put the boys on the line tonight. I'm going to ask them about a team. Tell me, give me a little of information on them. We're going to go alphabetically because that way nobody will say I got a team of it's a favorite. Just because my wife works somewhere doesn't mean they're my favorite. It just means I got to stay out of trouble.
Well, I think that on air you should say that I'll do just yes, ma'am. You just need to worry about saying yes, ma'am.
That's exactly right. All right, Rod, tell me a little bit about the Blackman Blaze.
So the Blackman Blaze had their new coach last year, Matt Kreisky. So he had to install his game, his way of doing things, and I was very impressed with it. I thought they were more disciplined than I had seen them in the last few years. Ended up 5-5, and with the second year under his belt, they should do much better this year.
A couple kids to look at for Blackman. Senior Ethan Carson. He's already got plans to go to Harvard, which means, boys, he's more athletic and smarter than any of us. And then, of course, also their big man, Archie Roseman, 6'4", 320. He's got plenty of offers. Vanderbilt's one of those, and he's very excited about possibly playing in the SEC. Brother Danny, talking about the Eagles.
Floyd Walker, he's the man down there in Eagleville. You know, the great thing about Eagleville is community. That's the one thing that I think about when I think of Eagleville. Community, lots of people show up for the game. It's that small-town atmosphere. You know, they've got some good skill players. I think one of the things that they need to do is be able to win the battle at the line of scrimmage. Of course, that's key in football, no matter what level you're at. But in this lower levels, if you can spring your players, if you got some pretty good backs and you can get them sprung, then it can be off to the races. So I think that Eagles got a chance to do that. They just got to buy into what Coach Floyd teaches and then be able to win the battle up front.
They're a little bit young this year, lost a lot offensively. But, like I said, Floyd will have them ready to roll. Let's go down to Laverne, Ron.
Okay, Laverne should have a lot of defensive players back. Should be a pretty physical team defensively. Looking for some new leaders on offense. And they're also dabbling with the thought of maybe doing more of a running game with the triple option as a possibility. Again, like we mentioned earlier, sometimes making other teams uncomfortable because most teams don't have to defend against that anymore.
No, not anymore. But that's what coach is going to do. That's what they're doing down there. Woodward is putting the triple option in. It's in. It's according to him.
Well, a name you might hear a lot about, junior Micah Payne is an athlete. Helped him in the secondary and on offense this past year. Moving on over to a state title winner, Brother Danny. Middle Tennessee Christian.
State champion Cougars. How much will the Cougars roar this year? Early, I'm not so sure. They've got a tough schedule coming out of the gate. But I think the good news about Middle Tennessee Christian is you can get kids there and you have a lot more developmental time with them because you may have them for several years if they're in your middle school program and then graduate into the high school program. Smaller numbers means more one-on-one time with the coaches. So it will be challenging at Middle Tennessee Christian. I think rebuild is more apt for them. But by the end of the year, don't be surprised if they ain't pretty good.
Well, you know as well as I do, the whole part of a program is starting it and getting to where you want to get it to. And Middle Tennessee Christian's done that. Again, having a back-to-back state championship would be very, very tough to do, but they'll be very competitive. All right. Our favorites, seems like every year, Rod, the Oakland Patriots.
Oakland Patriots are always loaded, and you'll probably talk about several running backs that they have that are top-notch and highly wanted. One's already committed, which you're going to go through. But it's a team that is very disciplined, strong defense, strong offense. They're always special teams, always have a great kicker. Although they don't have a really known kicker right now, it sounds like they're going to go with one of their defensive linemen.
I saw that.
That's old school there.
That's going to be a big boy to try to bring down if he's punting that ball.
So where he was talking to some of the coaches and all that, and because it was kicking the ball, hey, that looks pretty good.
Well, you're right. They're going to let their star shine. He mentioned the running back, of course. Morris is already committed to USC, and then T.T. Hill just happened to show back up down there on Patriot Way. So he's going to have to – Morris is going to share a few carries, which probably won't hurt his feelings because he's already got what he needs. Of course, his son, Creasy, is a quarterback. He's got to stay healthy, and the offensive line always is key for that. But Oakland, you got the Tut kid. He's a junior. He is, already been after all across the country, Power 5 officers from all kinds of SEC schools. So, Oakland's going to be Oakland. We know that.
I think you're absolutely right about that. And, Coach Creasy, he finds a way.
All right, moving on to PCA, another newer school to football, but had a very good season with playoffs.
Extremely good season. The great thing about a school like PCA is you don't have to – it doesn't depend on your zoning because you don't have any zoning. So it's not dependent upon who's zoned to go to your school because it's a private school. So they can get kids. Their basketball program has been really good already. So for a relatively new school, they're doing great things over there. I think they've got a chance to kind of shake a few things up over there.
A lot of players back. You mentioned the program. We already talked about volleyball winning state. So, yeah, PCA's got it going on there. They're actually playing tonight. They're playing Coach Floyd and the Eagles over at Middle Tennessee Christian. So if you can't make your way over to Siegel, you might want to run by MTSU and see that game. Should be a very, very competitive game tonight over there at MTSU between Providence Christian and Eagle. All right. Rod, what do you know about the Warriors?
Not much. I know they lost a lot on the offense, so they're going to have to find some people. But they do have somebody who's been there for like 3 years, DJ Taylor, who's also committed to MTSU. Again, we mentioned that Coach Floyd is going after local kids, and so this is a great thing for our community, I think, that he is. Their defense, though, returns a lot of starters. They have tough defense. We know last year, first team beat Oakland in 58 games. They won the district title, so now they're going to try to build on that.
Well, when you listen to the coaches' show on Saturday, we lead off with Riverdale, but we follow up pretty close. Eagleville gets taped. So we were talking before the show, Coach Floyd and Coach Kreisky, they like to egg each other. So the last couple of years, Coach Floyd calls him Dr. D because that defense was so good. And then last year, he's like, man, you Dr. O. But supposedly the words are going back to Dr. D this year. They lost a lot of offensive weapons, so they're going to rely on that defense. All right, the Rockville Rockets.
You know, Rockville has a chance, I think, to be much improved offensively because of what they have up front. So I think that they like what they've got up front in the trenches. You know, they've got some weapons behind those boys, but I think that may be the key for Rockville this year is how good can the offensive and defensive lines play, because they've got some kids behind that skilled players, and then they've got some kids behind the defensive line who can make plays. But what can they do up front? And I think they got a chance to be pretty good.
They should be pretty good. Heard their depths better. Offensive line behind 6'5", 300-pound Bo Bryan. He's going to create a hole, that's for sure.
Commitment to MTSU again.
Yep, MTSU commitment. Again, good job, Coach Mason. We like these local kids. Let's talk about the Siegel Stars again before they play tonight.
They're in the same situation as Rockville is. They're finally getting a big offensive line. I think they have one that's 6'5", 295 pounds. And he's really excited. So we not only have 5 good ones, we have some good depth. That makes the difference in this league. You got to control the line of scrimmage. And so they're really excited about it. They lost an outstanding quarterback, the threat. They lost Watson, the receiver, the top receiver. But they think they have the athletes to pick it up. With the line, both offensively and defensively, they feel that they can make some hay in the district.
Coach Renshaw said he wants to be built on physicality and balance, and he's got the kids to do that this year. All right, let's talk about who we're going to stay at the Dog Pound tomorrow night.
Smyrna High School is going to be, I think, typical Smyrna High School, hard-nosed, blue-collar, run the football and try to put a hat on you defensively. They do have some kids coming back who fit that physical mentality. You know, Coach Williams, that's one of the things he preaches is just hard work and just like I said, they're just a hard-hitting team. Tomorrow night's game could be as hard-hitting as we've seen in a while. I don't know if you remember about 3 years ago at Smyrna, when Smyrna and Riverdale played, one of the hardest-hitting games you've ever seen. I mean, just some kids laying the leather. We'll go see the same thing tomorrow night.
Was that the 9-6 game? I mean, it wasn't a lot of scoring.
No. Actually, I think Riverdale scored. They hit a couple of big pass plays, and it wound up being like 14-7 or 21-7 or something like that. But Riverdale had a couple big pass plays. Holcomb's boy was playing quarterback, popped a couple big pass plays, and that was the only scores was 2 big play, or maybe it was 14-0 or something like that. But it was just a couple of big plays that Riverdale had. But the hard hitting, it was just laying. I love that stuff. Slobber knockers.
The pads will be popping. All right, Rod. Finally, last team, Stewart's Creek.
Stewart's Creek has several players back, quarterback. Floyd, that's yours. I'm sorry, I'm taking your spot.
You're fine.
But they got a lot of consistency, and they just want to build on what they had last year because they have a lot of returning players.
Coach Caudill likes to run the ball. He's got a senior running back, Caleb Floyd, like you mentioned. So their identity, much like most of the schools, follow their coaches. What they like to do, they like to keep the game on the ground. They've had so many good running backs over the years, so we'll be talking about a lot of these kids and a lot more this year, as the games go on. We'll see. We'll see what people thought of those preseason picks, and we'll see where we get in the standings. Before you know it, it'll be going. We'll be right.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
Craig's Tax Service is located just off Memorial on Heritage Park Drive. You can contact us at 890-22 2233.
It makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We are proud to support all Rutherford County student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
Whether you're a student, alumni, or just a fan, Raider Tees has exactly what you need to help you cheer on the Blue Raiders on game days and every moment in between. We sell officially licensed Blue Raider gear, whether it's clothing, hats, flags, chairs, or just whatever. We have it all, including exclusive gear you won't find anywhere else. Like us on Facebook for updates on new Blue Raider gear and special prices or discounts. For all your Blue Raider gear, shop Raider Tees today. Bigger, better, and go blue!
Here's a question. What do you want from your electric co-op?
An app for easy payment.
Solar energy solutions. I just want to talk to a real person when I need help. Energy tips and low rates.
Done, 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 done.
I want to fly my car to the moon.
Houston, let's talk about electric vehicles. Energy Service Life. That's Middle Tennessee Electric. We're here to get done what matters most to you. Learn more at mte.com.
If you're near retirement or thinking about retiring, you probably have a lot of questions. How do you make your savings last? You're ready for retirement, but are your finances? Let's work together to help ensure your finances can keep up with your unique needs over the long haul. I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin. Stop by our office in the Public Shopping Center on South Rutherford Boulevard or give us a call at 615-907-7056 for an appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
Primetime Sports presented by Ideas Tees on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
All right, we're getting ready to close this out for this Thursday night. Again, get you ready for Brian and John here in just a second. I did get the official file against Pigskin Picks, and I'll read it to you. You ready for it? Don't let Brian win.
There you go. All right.
That was the official word. Don't let Brian win. Even if I don't win, don't let Brian win. So I'm just saying that's what I heard. That's what I heard. So Pigskin Picks is always just for fun. I get in trouble with my wife. Danny may get in trouble with people down in Smyrna, so we kind of careful there on those.
At least my wife don't care.
All right, let's run down the schedule. Of course, Shovel at Siegel tonight. 4 of us went with Siegel. Danny went with Shovel, number 10 Shovel.
I think Golden Eagles fly high. For my old boy Whit Taylor. Whit Taylor played at Shelbyville.
Man, I played softball against that boy, and he could kill a softball, much less play football. Eagleville PCA tonight again. We split on this one. Myself, Danny, and John went with Eagleville, and Rod and Brian Barrett went with PCA.
I'm going with the winner there.
PCA. PCA could surprise some people. I mean, I know Floyd's, young, but, that's going to be a fantastic game tonight. Of course, tomorrow night, Riverdale at Smyrna is your WGNS game. 3 of us went with Riverdale. Rod and Danny went with the Bulldogs. Again, I think that's a toss-up.
Oh, it is. It's going to be, like I said, a hard-hitting game, and I think that, it'll come down to just making a play here or there,
First game, you never know. Last year when we played Smyrna at Riverdale, I was shocked.
Oh, it was a whitewashing.
Didn't know about they threw the ball all over the field, and Smyrna just seemed to struggle, and never could. You just never know that first game.
What's Williams going to do this year? He won't be able to get this group together, but sure enough, they got him in the playoffs.
Yep. Blackman at Brentwood. We all went with Brentwood. That's just a tough matchup for Blackman on the road. Oakland's at Independence. We all went with Oakland. Nolensville at Rockville. We split there. Nolan was a good 6A school. Danny and John both went with Nolensville. I took the home team again. I think that's a tough matchup for Rockville. But I went with them because they're at home. Tullahoma at Stewart's Creek. We all went with Stewart's Creek. Danny threw in the Tullahoma. I think he's trying to sneak one on us. Laverne at West Creek. Myself and John went with West Creek. The other 3 went with Laverne. I just think being on the road's tough for Laverne. And then Columbia Academy at Middle Tennessee Christian. You hate to have a state champion open up with a loss. Columbia Academy's pretty daggum good.
I mean, they had 2 slobberknockers, as you say, last year, and there you have a running back who has over 4,000 yards already in his career.
He's pretty good. All right, this weekend on WGNS, tomorrow night again, Riverdale at Smyrna football, countdown to kickoff before the game. Saturday, you got Coach's Corner, and then Braves baseball against the Nationals. Again, that's Saturday. Sunday, the Braves and Nationals. Monday night, get excited for Blue Raider football. Middle Tennessee football coaches show at 6:25. Braves are at Minnesota after that. So next week, gentlemen, we will have actual stats and kids scoring touchdowns and making interceptions and all the stuff.
All the stuff.
But you're going to be gone.
Delmar, back a horse and get paid.
Back a horse and get paid. Well, me and Rod will be back here trying to get paid. Even though we're trying to beat Brian Barrett, maybe he'll give us a little bit of a raise. We'll see. All right. Y'all enjoy football with John and Brian.